Welcome to Widowed Too Soon. This is Michelle Bader, and I am sitting with my friend and co-host, Mark Massaro. How are you doing today, Mark?
Doing really well. How are you, Michelle?
I'm good. So what's been going on since the last time we did a podcast like a week ago?
We've been sick and we
Oh,
just
I'm
keep
sorry.
volleyballing it around the house. So it's like, yeah, we just keep trading. Fortunately, we're all reasonably healthy. So we kick it pretty quick, but then we give it back to everybody. So
Yeah.
we're like, keeping ourselves contained just with, COVID. I know we don't have COVID, but well, I guess I can't say I know it, but I'm pretty sure it's just a cold with the season
Yeah.
change. All of a sudden gotten cold outside, and that's just pretty normal to, have the colds going around. That's just how it goes. So, but just because of the fear and everything going on right now, we've just kind of stayed at home and haven't gone to church. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, my kids be coughing on people or whatever. Everybody's real
Right.
sensitive to that right now. So, not a whole lot, to be honest.
Well,
I'm
how's
kids.
homeschooling going?
That's going really great.
Yeah.
It's going really great. It's such a neat experience to be learning about the whole process of homeschooling them. My friend Tamara's been very gracious and, teaching me what I need to do and how this works and how to do that. And, because there's a lot, they're through a charter school.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's homeschooling, there is curriculum and things like that. And so
Yeah.
there's online testing and logging attendance and, just
Yeah.
different things that have to be done on the computer and whatnot. Um, but it's been really sweet. It's so cute. My son is, like I mentioned before, he's learning to read. My daughter's, doing all kinds of stuff, and it's just really cool to be a part of it. But what's been going on with you? What's new with you? What's
Well,
new in
first,
Michelle land?
a lot of good stuff. But first, I got to go back to what you're saying. So, when Peyton was in kindergarten, well, I homeschooled him for preschool, did that at home. And then kindergarten, I went and taught at a private school and he was in my class. So he's one of
Oh,
my
that's
kindergartners
awesome.
and he called me Mrs. Bader at school. It was so cute when Mrs. Bader, and he would
That is
literally
so cute.
call me that. So, anyways, it was really fun being his teacher. And I'm like so thankful. They said, well, he could be in the other class. I'm like, no, I want him in my class. Like, I'll never get this experience again.
Yeah, that's
He,
awesome.
he was also the best reader. And yeah, it was fun. So,
That's
side note.
cool.
So, I had the privilege of going to a podcast conference this last
Nice.
weekend in Scottsdale, Arizona. There it is. And first of all, I'm from Washington, as you know, and it's been getting a little colder. It hasn't been terrible yet, but going there and it was in the 80s one day, like 90, it was amazing. And I laid at the pool and it was fantastic. And I felt
Nice.
like rejuvenated just being in the sun. And I learned so much about podcasting. And so that was really cool. I'd never been to a conference that was specifically for podcasting. I went with my friend Stacy, who you guys know is our last guest. And it was really fun, just to get away and have a little time when you're a single parent. You don't always get that or very often. And so to
Mhm.
just like not have responsibilities. Actually, I met other women who were talking about that. Like, this is so nice. Nobody needs me right now. Like, this is so
Mhm.
amazing. And my mother-in-law, Luke's mom, got to come and stay with the kids. So
Oh,
that
cool.
was cool, so that I didn't have to worry about anything, so she could get them to school. I left a whole schedule of who goes here, what. It's a lot of driving kids around at this age.
Mhm.
And so she did all of that, took care of them. So I didn't have to worry about anything, which was amazing. And I'm so thankful that she was able to do that and wanted to do that. So yeah, that's some of the stuff that I've been doing. And just I think I talked about last week that I joined John Maxwell Leadership School.
Mhm.
I don't remember exactly what it's called. So I just started diving into that, taking classes on how to be a speaker.
Sure.
And so that's been fun too. So just really just getting clear on where I want to go with this career. As you guys know, I'm not teaching this year. I'm really focusing on podcasting and that kind of thing. And of course, building up my TikTok. That's been fun. It sounds silly. Oh my gosh, I did create one today that you will laugh. I don't fall, kind of. I
Dang it.
do.
I was hoping
Well,
you were going to say
but in a different way.
that.
So I'm doing this one. I don't even remember. I slide on the floor and I fall all the way back. I'm like, I told Mark I'd post it if I fell. So I'm going to post it on later. I'll send it to you so you can see it. So you guys should check out at Widow Goals to see that TikTok. I don't even remember what the
That's
context was, but
awesome.
I was sliding on my wood floor and went, whoa, and you see me fall. It's pretty funny.
It
Oh,
doesn't
I
matter
know.
what the context was at all.
Oh, I know what it was. It was a silly one. It was like, songs that distract me from cleaning. It's all these like 90s songs. And so I'm like sweeping and then I go like,
so you were doing the risky business?
No. Fully clothed. So, but yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot that
he's like wearing just a shirt and underwear.
That's not what I meant. I just was picturing him running.
Sliding is kind of like that, but then my feet go out from under me. And then I noticed in the video I'm wearing 2 different color socks, but I was like, whatever. I'm leaving it. It's real life. Like most of the time, my socks don't match. Yes. Yes. So anyways,
floors are clean enough to slide. That's awesome.
Yeah, they are. I have a nice clean house now. Okay.
That's awesome.
So the topic today. No. Yeah. Well, that's a side note. Anyone who knows my old house was not so clean and it was cluttered. And yeah. So
in your defense, you had a lot going on back then.
Maybe. And so we do a lot better now. Like I have the kids have chores. We go over them, blah, blah, blah. So It's good stuff. Plus, my mother-in-law was here and she made sure it's clean. And she helped like go through boxes in the garage. She did a lot of great stuff. My pantry was organized. Like it was nice coming home to all of this.
What is she doing next weekend?
Right? She could come help you guys out. Yes. So it's anyways. Okay.
No,
title.
Organized.
You got your organized stuff. So that's good. Okay. You guys ready for the title?
You ready?
Are you ready? I did not sign up for this. #truth. Well, it's just I did not sign up for this. Right? How many of you, right? I raise our hands that we can't see. How many of you can relate? All of you. I see it. Yes, all of you were raising our hands.
We see your hands out
We see you. So I am sure you can relate. So Mark, when I say I didn't sign up for this, what comes to your mind?
Oh my gosh. Doing everything alone. Hearing my daughter cry out that she misses mommy, figuring out, money things and grocery shopping. Grocery shopping is a big one for me, and planning meals and getting the kids to eat things. And oh my gosh, I could go on and on.
Right.
Watching Lacey suffer and whittle away to nothing. That's one that I feel like I didn't sign up for.
Right.
I guess I did. And as far as my vows go, I did, but we never think that that's actually going to apply to us.
Right.
Especially, I know we have, it doesn't matter your age, but I know we do have, people that listen that have had these really long and beautiful marriages, but we all feel the same. We all feel like, our vows were like when we said until death do us part, it was like, oh yeah, of course,
someday.
Until death do us part.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be, like I found a card from Lacey the other day that said, I can't wait to grow old with you.
Oh.
And it was just like, man, like if I only knew that she was going to die at 34 years old.
So young.
It's I didn't sign up for this is what I want to say. It's what I want to scream out often. Like I didn't sign up for this. There's so many things, but before I talk for 20 minutes, what about you? What do you think of?
Oh man, like all of this stuff that has to do with tools, like fixing anything, plunging the toilets. For some reason in our new house, these toilets, they clog, mostly the kids ones. Anyways,
low flow. That's why they're all EPA, like low water toilets.
I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, so I'm like, this happened like a week ago, less than a week. I'm on like plunging. I'm sweating, and I'm like, this won't work. I go to my parents' house, go get it. I'm like, do you have a better plunger? I need a better plunger. It's late at night. I can't leave this. Like, it's awful. Like the whole house smelled. It was horrible. And those, the little poopery drops, they weren't working. Nothing was smelling good.
Well, let me tell you about one trick you can try also. If you have a bucket and you fill that bucket with water, if you flush it or if you dump it hard into the toilet, it forces it to flush.
Oh no, I think it would have. It was to the brim and it was not pretty, and I did not want that to come.
Okay. Oh, it's already gotten to that point.
So
okay.
One of the boys were like, I don't know how, like days. It was like the guest bathroom. I don't know how long it had been there. It smelled like an outhouse. And I'm like, I did say, I wish your dad was here. He would do that. I was like feeling sorry for myself. And then I went and got the other plunger. I couldn't do it. Haley got it. She does it every time. So the boys didn't really do much, but she did. She got the plunger. And so I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for the toilets. I didn't sign up for anything on the car. I didn't sign up for paying bills. I didn't sign up for being like dad and like trying to do sports stuff. And like, okay, let's keep it real. I had to ask a friend. So Peyton was about to start football and I was on the phone with him. So I'm like, hey, do boys wear cups for football? Like I had to ask questions. I'm like, I don't even know these things because Luke did all that. It was his department.
Yeah.
Like he would literally say, this is my department. Or he'd go, that's your department. Like we would literally say that. And so there's just been like things that I'm like, I don't know these things. I didn't sign up for this. Like I didn't sign up to watch my son graduate this year by myself. Like, and feel that pain of watching him move to the next stage of life without his dad.
Right.
I mean, there's so many. This is actually a pretty big topic. Like, there are so many things that we didn't sign up for. I didn't sign up to be let's see, I was 41 when he died, 41-year-old widow. Like,
you just told your
wait,
age
20. I didn't sign to be a 25-year-old widow, is what I meant. And
I tried for 21 episodes to not tell your age.
Oh my goodness, delete. No, it's all good. No, I think we said it before or hinted at it. Yeah. So anyways, I didn't sign up for that. And I definitely didn't sign up to like date in my 40s, right? Like I had a hard enough time in my 20s and like drama and all kinds of stuff. And it was hard enough. And it was like, everyone was so excited. I finally like got a good man and like we got married. And it was like, that was the end of the Michelle dating drama, or so we thought. And so to be in this place again, where I'm just like kind of starting that, like I wouldn't say it's not fun. Some of it's fun, but like, it's not what I would rather be married to Luke than be dealing with like just getting to know people again and just all of the stuff and the heart issues of caring about someone, not wanting to get hurt and the game of it. And it's just like, some days I'm just like, no, like I didn't sign up for this, but I did because I said, till death do us part. Word, right? I said, till death do us part. But how many people, when you say that, think about who's going to die first? I know I didn't. Like, I knew I met my vow, but I never thought about who would die first.
Oh, ever. Yeah. I was like, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, someday. Like, when we're old. But yeah, there's so many things I didn't sign up for. I didn't sign up for like feeling judged, like I shared last week when I walk into a church and I don't have my husband. And like, I didn't sign up for any of this. But that doesn't mean like I'm not okay with it. Like I'm at peace with it, but we're keeping it real. Like these are things we did not anticipate in life. And it's hard when you look at your life and you're like, this is not what I signed up for, just going through just all of this stuff. And I didn't sign up for grief. And like, grief is not, as I'm learning, like grief is not just crying. Like there's so many different ways that grief comes out and how we act, like all the things we talked about in Counterfeit Comfort. And like, there's just so many ways that it manifests itself that I'm learning that I'm not really through. Like I thought I was through grief. Like my grief counselor told me I graduated. And so I thought I was in this place, but it will hit me when I do like cry suddenly. Like that happened last week. A song came on. I was looking at pictures of Luke and it just hit me. And that just does it. Was
it the video you posted with him showing the kids how he puts on his leg?
No, I mean, yes, that one too. Yeah.
That one got me, honestly.
Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. So if you go to my TikTok, you can see it, but just to explain what it is. Luke had a prosthetic leg, as I think you guys know, and two of his nieces, his sister's kids, were like super curious. Anytime we were at a family event and he'd take off his leg, like all the little kids, except for mine, because they're used to it, would like go look at it. And he would always show them. So he's showing them how it like you take it on and off. And he was super, super super
Well, the song you chose too, like
it was like some beautiful, sad song. I know. I know.
I was like, oh my gosh.
And I did another one today. I've been doing like a lot of memory videos, and actually people seem to really like those. And it was this country song that the words are "If I Die Young," and it's like about dying and whatever. And it was just this video of him at Silverwood when we went a couple years ago, and him riding this ride, and it was about living every minute to the fullest, and just like, but I didn't I didn't sign up to watch my husband go through chemotherapy the first time, when we were like in our 20s, watch him lose his hair, throw up. Didn't sign up to watch him get his leg amputated. And not only all the physical difference that made him, but emotionally it changes you. Like there's no other way to say it.
Oh yeah, big
You
time.
know, and I didn't sign up for all the other illness. I kind of feel like I'm doing a complain fest now, but I'm just getting out like the things I didn't sign up for. Like I didn't sign up for 13 more years of all kinds of other illnesses, including diabetes, cirrhosis, what's it called? Pancreatitis, like a million things. And I didn't sign up for my kids watching the ambulance come to our house over and over,
Yep.
you know, and then carrying that trauma. I didn't sign up for it coming back. Like I've said this before, after 10 years, we thought it was, you know, it's usually a good thing. It's gone, it coming back in his lungs. And I didn't sign up to watch him suffer and, you know, just all of the things. But
Yeah.
I want to like kind of turn around because I feel like I'm just complaining, but it's like I can accept it. If God allowed it, I can accept it. Like that's really been my mindset. Like I can accept it. Like going back to the you were chosen. Like we were chosen for this. But that doesn't mean we signed up for it. It doesn't mean we have to love everything that's happened. But we can realize in the overall picture that God chose us to be the ones to go through this and love our spouse. The point was like we were chosen for this, but there are moments, and this is okay. I want all the listeners to know this. It's okay to do this. Do the same list. You know, actually, I think it would be very therapeutic if you did this with someone else. You said, I didn't sign up for this. Let's like a trusted friend, or write it all out, write it in a journal. You know, I didn't sign up for that, just to get it out, because it actually kind of feels good to talk about it, like with somebody, like, and people get it. Like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, I didn't want to be a single mom. That's the biggest thing too. I didn't sign up to be a single mom.
Yeah.
And you know, just all the stuff that goes with that. And so
Well, going back to something you said a few minutes ago, I remember an experience where one of the times I had to call 911 and the ambulance came and the fire department came and there were all these people in the house. And I think that was actually the first time I had to call an ambulance, because by the end, the kids were kind of used to it and they just knew to stay out of the way and stuff. At this time,
right.
Alexis just wanted to see what was going on. And I was like, you got to get out of here, honey. I'm so sorry. You got to go in the front room. And she went running away. And I figured she was crying and sad about me telling her that she had to, you know, get out of the way. Because they were about to wheel her out in the gurney and, you know, through tight doorways and stuff. And I couldn't have her being in their way. And they were rushing her to the hospital that time. So she comes running back up and she's like, excuse me, to the paramedics. And I'm like, no, honey, no. And she's like, wait, I just want to give them this. And she had gone and drawn them a picture of them taking care of her mommy. And she said, I just want you to know that she's special. Please take care of her, or something. And I felt so bad that I was like keeping her back when she was just trying to give them a gift. So I thought about that when you were saying it. And sorry, I just wanted to share that. But, you know, one of the things that's been really, really hard for me is I grew up a very unconventional way. My dad left when I was very young and beat my mom. And she had sort of mentally checked out, is probably the nicest way I can say it. And so I was really raised by nobody. And I really had no role models, nobody telling me, you know, why things were important and why school was important, why not to do this, why it's important to brush your teeth, like nothing at all, no guidance. And then I met Lacey, and because my whole life was like that. My whole life was like, I didn't have anybody I could really count on or depend on and anybody to look up to, you know. I mean, my brother was there, but we were so similar in age, you know, that we were both kind of going through this thing together. And Lacey was like, she just loved me and adored me and wanted to teach me everything and really showed me compassion and love and kindness and showed me this different world that I'd never seen before. And showed me that families out there actually do work. There
Right.
are parents that are still married and things that I didn't grow up around, and then she was just gone. And all of a sudden I was
Right.
like, oh my gosh, like I'm alone again. And I have 2 kids now, but there was just very much this feeling of like, am I destined to go back to
Oh, wow. Right.
that life of like nobody cares and I'm alone and I'm lost? And it's really hard to explain what how empty that life felt for me and how meaningless. And not like I
Hmm.
was ever suicidal, but just like, well, I mean, there were points, but that's beside the point. But just like, what's the point of this? Like, when you don't have anybody telling you, like, it's kind of embarrassing, but Lacey, I remember when we first started dating, she was like, don't you floss your teeth? I'm like, well,
Mm.
yeah, when I have something stuck in them. And she's
Mm.
like, no, I thought floss was like another kind of toothpick.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I really didn't know you were supposed to floss your
Right.
teeth every day. And just things like that. I don't know. I mean, I could go on about that, but that's not the point. But I had this feeling of like, what the heck? Like, I finally had something good in my life. And yeah, it gave me this overwhelming feeling of like, I didn't sign up to watch her die. And
Right.
it was heartbreaking. It was the things that I saw. Um, I have held back on saying a lot of the true things that happened, for the sake of her dignity and for not wanting people to
Right.
remember her a certain way. But the reality is that everybody who was close to her saw what I saw.
Right.
And she was in diapers. She had a catheter. She had lost all control of her body. She, at the end, was down to 70 pounds and had
Whoa.
lost it. The Lacey that I knew was no longer there anymore. I'll just say that in the end.
Right. Right.
And that was hard. That was really
Hmm.
hard. And like, I didn't sign up to watch not only another human, but a human that I adored so much, that meant so much to me, to watch her just fall apart right in front of me. And it was, I mean, like I've said before, like her femur bone at one point snapped in my hand. And
Hmm.
um, like, it was just the most horrible and, quite frankly, disgusting thing I've ever
Mm.
been a part of or witnessed or saw. The things that I saw on a daily basis, I'll leave all that out of this, but like, just the things that I had to go through to take care of her, were just horrendous. And just the most ghastly things you can even imagine. Well, I should take that back, because I actually just recently saw this expose on this woman who survived Auschwitz,
Oh.
under the Nazis, and that was, and I was like, man, just when you think you've been through something bad, you see something like this, and you're like, wow, I was actually really blessed to only experience what I
Right.
experienced. There's always somebody out there who has it worse. Anyways, I didn't mean to go all down this rabbit hole,
No,
but
it's all right.
just the reality of just like, yeah, I didn't sign up for that. That's not how I planned on my marriage ending. And what we had was really, really special and really unique.
Yeah.
And uh, I've never seen, and I promise you, this is not just me. I know there's many more stories out there, but I have never seen what I feel to be was a more loving and devoted marriage than what I had with Lacey.
Mm.
Um, just the compassion we had towards one another, and the understanding and the grace, and the forgiveness and the kindness was just unparalleled. And to have that ripped away from me after having such a hollow and empty existence before
Right.
her, was just devastating. And I really struggled for a long time of like, understanding. And I've always tried to have this deep level of understanding about, God's ways are above my ways, and
Right.
that I don't know what he brought from that. I did see a lot of things that were beautiful that he brought from that experience. Sucks that it's at my expense and Lacey's expense and Lacey's family's expense and my kids' expense. Um, but this world is temporary, and I always know that, but it doesn't mean the pain isn't real. You can be
Right.
the most optimistic, positive person in the world and handle this widowed journey with the greatest skills, if you want to call it that, or like what I'm saying. You can just
Yeah.
be like the best widow out there, or widower, if you want to.
Number
You're
one widow.
the best at this. You're still going to experience so much pain and so much hurt and so
Yeah.
much loss. So, like we always try to be optimistic and positive, Michelle and I, so that we can help lift you guys up, because, we're all in this really crappy place. Sorry to be, so blunt, but that's just how it feels sometimes. And, so Michelle and I definitely have our own pain, as you can hear. But we just always want to point you guys back to God, so that you can point us back to God when you send us messages and things and tell us about your encouraging stories. So, that's just some thoughts that I had on that. Oh, darn it, I don't have it with me. My mother-in-law shared something with me. There's a Bible verse on widows and fatherless children.
Oh, yeah.
And when she shared the verse with me, she's like, I printed this out because I thought it'd be right when they said it. And it was just like, whoa. And I have it like right next to my computer, my other computer.
That's you're kind of both of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
kind of. I am both of those.
Okay. I guess it's not kind of.
I mean, I had a father, but he was a bad man. And I feel bad. I have a half sister I found out there. She's real sweet, and she has really fond memories of him.
Mm-hmm.
He went back to them, but he treated her like she was his. My dad had her and another son, and then left them to be with my mom, had us, and then left us and went back to them. Mm-hmm. So she has a lot of really good memories. And so when I spoke with her on Facebook, I asked her, what do you remember about Dad? And she had all these nice things to say. And she's like, what do you remember about Dad? And I was like, not much. And I was just like, there's no point. He passed away. So there's no point in me like tarnishing her image of him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
If she has these fond memories of her father, like there's no point in me telling her about all the terrible things I saw. I mean, I watched him beat the heck out of my mom when I was probably 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, so hard.
Like beat her senseless ripped a phone off the wall, smashed it over her head, and tried to kidnap us and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And so, like, yeah, I had a father, but in my eyes, I didn't have a father,
Right.
He never called about it. He never asked how we were doing. And I never understood, I never cared growing up. And I thought I never cared until I started seeing a therapist, and Lacey was pregnant with my first child, Alexis. Right. So I don't know what triggered it, whether it was that I was becoming a father and I just didn't understand how somebody could just not care about their kids.
Right.
Or that the counselor or therapist, whatever you want to call him, was pulling things out of me that I didn't know were there. But so technically I had a father, but I didn't have a father. And yeah, right. I'm widowed. And so I just feel like I have double God's blessings on me.
Right. I'm looking
out for me,
I'm looking through all these verses. There's tons about widow and fatherless. Like, do not take advantage of the widow or the fatherless. May his children be fatherless and his wife a widow. I don't know. Which verse do you know what it is? I think it
was in Psalms.
Okay.
If that helps. I don't want to put people on hold while I run out to the living room and grab it. Plus, also my kids will probably follow me back in here.
Right, exactly. Well, we will get it in the show notes. We'll figure out what it is. And because I've read it before too, just basically about God. It's about God caring for the widows and fatherless, right?
Like, woe to those who, like, I don't remember, but it was something like that. And,
right.
And orphans. That might be it.
Yes. So I wanted to share kind of like the flip side of what we're talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
we didn't sign up for this. We didn't sign up for all the things that we mentioned, but we didn't also sign up for the blessings that we've seen and the good
Hmm.
things that have come from this. And
That's true.
we didn't sign up to sit here and share our stories and help other people. I mean, well,
That's
we did
true.
because we're doing it, but I'm
I
trying
know
to
what you
say
mean.
the flip side
This
that
wasn't
like
our plan.
this wasn't our plan, but this is God's plan. And
Mhm.
we didn't sign up to see, if you go back to both of our first episodes, episode 1 and 2, to see some actually like supernatural things happen. You know, we didn't sign up for that, but God met us there. I didn't sign up to
That's very
feel
true.
closer to God, especially in those first 4 months before I had any distractions, when I was just totally focused on God. I didn't sign up to feel closer than I ever have, because in our deepest pain comes the deepest comfort. So,
Mm.
you know, I want to challenge you guys, if you do this exercise, when you write out all the things that you didn't sign up for, also do the good things. Like, what are some good things that have happened? Because there
Mm.
are good things.
That's a
Because,
really good point.
yeah, you know, God is using our stories, we know, because people tell us, to help others. And so try to, you know, turn it around and look at that. And like, I didn't sign up to move to this beautiful, amazing house that was totally a God thing. And that all like
Yeah, it was.
happened. I mean, totally. Like, the more I think about it, I mean, I didn't even have a job at the time. I mean, there were
Hmm.
so many things,
Yeah, it
you know,
doesn't
you
happen.
remember, it was
I
just
remember I was
crazy.
like, you what now? You want proof? Like,
You
what?
didn't believe it. Like, what?
I was like, oh my gosh, praise God. That is God. That is God all the way.
I know. And you told me
Yeah.
later, like, I didn't want to tell you, but I didn't really think it was going to happen because it.
I just knew it wasn't going to happen. Like, not in any negative way, but just like, from buying houses before in the past, like, it's incredibly tight to qualify,
Uh-huh.
like the numbers all need to line up.
And I'm just like, it'll work out. I know it, you know?
Yeah, it was. And you're
Yeah.
right.
So, I mean, just things like that, and the blessing of just financially, how God has provided. We had, you know, different people paying our mortgage during this time. Like, God has
Mm.
always provided financially. And just like how my kids were blessed 3 Christmases in a row by people who gave to us during this
Wow.
like season.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, like, so many things, story after story after story. We got to go to Disneyland, all paid for. Like, there are so many things when I stop looking at, like, oh, all the negative. And what we focus on expands. And so if we're focusing on the negative, it's okay. Like I said, it's therapeutic, get it out, but then let's turn it. Like, what's the positive? What are the good things that have happened? And if you can't find it, I mean, just start small, because I know there's some of you like really in deep pain. You might be in those first few months, and it is
Yeah.
hard
Oh
to
yeah.
see, but try to find at least one good thing. And I want to make it clear, that doesn't mean you wish this had ever happened. None of us
Right.
wish this would happen. It just means, what can I see? What is the positive in this situation? I would
Mm.
never choose this, but because I'm here, what is something positive? And just start small, find something. If you can't do it, ask someone around you to help you. Like, what is something that's positive out of this? I can't see it. Sometimes
Yeah.
we need our family and friends to be our eyes.
Yeah. And like you mentioned before, that you and I both experienced very supernatural events
Yes.
that, for me, and I'm sure it was the same way for you, like, I will never, not that I really did this often, but every now and then I would wonder, like, is what I believe really the truth? That's what
Right.
I used to wonder in my younger, I can't even say younger years. It was, maybe 3-4 years ago, whatever. Every now and then it would cross my mind, or am I really saved?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this really as simple as it is that I just believe and try my best to repent? I mean, even not even repenting is part of it. Repenting is part of it, but like being perfect is not part of it. But, I would wonder those things. But the biggest one was like, is it really real? Like, is that really, like, cause it sounds too good to be true. The idea of heaven and salvation sounds too good to be true. And what are we taught in life? That if something sounds too good to be true, it
Mm-hmm.
probably is.
Yeah.
And so I would wonder occasionally, it didn't creep in often, but when it did, it would, be there for a few minutes, and I'd talk myself out of it with all the things I've seen. But now, from what I've seen, there will never be another doubt in my mind
Mm-hmm.
that there is a God and that Jesus is real, and he
Right.
absolutely walked among me that day. And I can't doubt it. I know what I saw. and I know how
Mm-hmm.
it made me feel. And I will never, and gosh, what a blessing. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't have had that had I not been watching Lacey go through that.
Right.
And a lot of people heard that testimony. I reluctantly shared it. Well, I shared it on here, and now we've almost had 300 people listen to it, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. That I'm like, wow, I'm sure it touched at least a few people.
Oh yeah, I'm
But
sure.
I recently went back on the Facebook post I made on. We had a Facebook page called Team Lacey. It's still active. Nobody posts on there really, but I scrolled way back and I found that post.
Mm.
And actually, it was really powerful because I got to read. I forgot about this. I got to read Lacey's um, comment on it. And
That's
she said, "Oh, I'm
awesome.
really glad Mark shared this. Let me tell it from my perspective."
Oh wow.
And
That's
she
so
told
cool.
it, and it was just like, whoa, like I forgot about this, even though it brought me a lot of grief to like read her words and
Right.
whatnot. But it was bone chilling
Mm-hmm.
to hear her version of it. And it was quite a ways back. I had to scroll for it for like an hour. But
Right.
it was really, really powerful.
Right. You know what else I thought of that we didn't sign up for? This is a
Mm,
whole other subject. The way that our kids are now going to have a ministry
mm.
that they wouldn't have had. And an example, unfortunately, one of the kids at my kid's school, their dad just died of COVID.
Oh
And
gosh.
um, Peyton told me, and he's my youngest and most reserved. And he said, you know, that boy whose dad died of cancer, I emailed him and I told him I understand.
Mm,
And he said, I wanted to do that because when daddy died, somebody told me they understood because their fish died. And I was like, oh, really? I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I love what you're doing. I'm really proud of you that you.
wow.
So he said, so I wanted this boy to know that I actually understand. And I
Yeah,
was like, that is so
that's
cool.
beautiful.
I know. And it was,
Alexis says that to people too. She says,
mhm.
like, so we talk to people occasionally that lost their spouse or lost their parent or whatever, and she's straight up, she's 8, and she's like, yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, what a beautiful little girl. Oh my goodness. It's
Right.
crazy.
Right. So that's like a whole other positive thing. Yes, they have a lot of pain, but
Right.
their pain can also turn into their own type of ministry now and in the future
Yeah.
because they actually have been through really hard things.
They've walked through some incredibly difficult journeys for sure.
Exactly. And so that's just a whole other layer when we start thinking of like, what are the positives? Like, I just saw that this last week when he told me that, and I was like, that's amazing,
Mm.
that you did that. So yeah, there's so much positive when we stop and think about it. And yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to say on I didn't sign up for this?
Um, you know, there's a lot.
I know it's a big subject.
There's a lot of things that I feel like that about. Yeah, like you mentioned being dad, like I feel the same way about
Mm-hmm.
being trying to be mom.
Right.
It's very difficult, and um I'm as much as I am I don't know, I'm not a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Alpha male. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
am in some ways, I'm a protector,
Right.
but I don't feel the need to like, compete. And so that gives me like a softer side, and definitely more of like a nurturing side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not cut out to be a mom, like
Right.
not even close. And so it's it's very, very difficult to try to fill that role, and to like look back at like videos
Mm.
of Lacey with the kids, and I'm like, gosh, not only was she such an amazing mom, but she was so much better at being a mom than I am. Like, I don't know if that like resonates
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's totally separate from how great of a
Right.
mom she was. It's also how much better she was than I am, and how things just came more naturally to her. And my goodness, like, this is no joke. People often don't believe me when I say this. but it's the truth. Lacey grocery shopped for all four of us on $50 a week. That's because she was such a thrifty shopper, and she would go around and get deals, and
I love
we'd
it.
go to 3 or 4 different stores on a day when stuff was on sale, and she'd go to this store because they were having clearance. And I mean, she was
coupons and stuff.
She loved it. She loved getting good deals. She'd also go to this place, Western Eagle, where they would give you like a whole box of food that like the grocery stores were getting rid of because either they don't carry it anymore, like it discontinued, or it was getting within a month of expiration or whatever. And Lacey would go get these boxes. She would pay $15 once a week and come back with huge boxes of food.
That's awesome.
You would not believe it. Like all kinds of fruits and veggies and all kinds of stuff. But real quick, I wanted to share this because I was scrolling. I'm sure you saw me distracted. I was trying to find this because I've told the story in episode 1, but this is when it was fresh. And I also wanted to read Lacey's response.
Yeah,
I posted this on March 25th, 2020 on Facebook. I want to tell you about an amazing experience. A couple mornings ago, Lacey woke me up around 5 a.m. crying out in pain. I jumped up and tried to do everything I could to help. Nothing was working. I knelt down at the edge of the bed and I started praying hard. After a few minutes of pleading and crying for mercy, I started begging for Jesus to come down from heaven and comfort her. In a single instant, she stopped crying and interrupted my prayer to ask me a question that still makes my neck hair stand up. She stopped me and said, "Mark, can you see him? Do you see him?" I said, "What? See who?" She said, "Can you see Jesus?" I jumped back from the bed. I don't know why, but what she said made me afraid. Then she said, "My pain is completely gone and he's holding me. I can feel his skin. He's kissing my cheek. He's holding me tight, but it doesn't hurt. He's here with me." And I said, I fell to my face worshiping him. Lacey is a woman of the highest integrity. She would never, ever make something up. I am 100% sure that Jesus came down from heaven and embraced her. It was the most amazing thing that I have ever witnessed. I could only explain what I felt as fear because I was so startled by the magnitude of what she was telling me. I know we all know this, but Jesus is alive. I will praise his name forever. This happened 3 days ago, and I've only told 3 people. I have honestly not known how to process it. It was the most supernatural thing I have ever heard about, let alone witnessed. I don't understand what I saw, but I praise his name. Jesus is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Amen.
That's beautiful.
And then the comments were overwhelming. Just reading through them again the other day made me really tear up. And Lacey replied, "I'd like to add a little from my perspective. Now, please take in mind into consideration that she was, struggling in bed. So like she was a very intelligent woman, but I know she was struggling with typing towards the end. Anyways, I'll try to just make up what it's supposed to say. I'm so glad Mark wrote this up initially for us. It's true. It's often hard for me to type. Oh, I forgot she said that. Due to pain. So yes, the pain had gotten crazy intense. Mark does pray so faithfully for me. We often do find ourselves desperately crying out to the Lord to ease my pain. Often the only plea I can get out is, "Lord, help." He knows my heart and needs. So that's what I say, "Lord, help." This was like that night. When I began to feel Jesus's embrace, the pain calmed down. I was on the very edge of that bed. Mark was kneeling down at the side. I was on the foot of the bed, but it doesn't matter. So Jesus was positioned behind me. Somehow I knew not to turn around and try to really see him. Like I felt like it was selfish, too much to ask, greedy. But what I envisioned was the shepherd style of Jesus. There are many popular versions of Jesus, but what came to me was the sweet younger version that is often on front of the children's Bibles. I felt such love and peace emanating from him. It was totally supernatural. I felt the light hair on his arms as he caressed my arms. He squeezed a little tight as he hugged. This part breaks my heart, but something that usually hurts me, but didn't this time. I miss hugs so much. It was so special to me to get a tight hug. It felt short, about 3 minutes, but oh boy, was it the best experience of my whole life. Thank you all for joining thank you all for joining me and recognizing this awesome encounter with the Lord Jesus gifted me with. And that was the end of it. But
so beautiful.
So like you were saying, like I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up. I never thought I would experience something like that in my life. And people can take it or leave it. And, I know a lot of people won't believe that, but I was here.
Yeah.
I have no reason to, like, what would I get out of that? I'm not getting paid to say anything like that. But man, it was, and to say I was afraid. Like, and I'll openly admit that. So it was like, why would I brag about how scared I was when I've been a believer for a long time? But that was just the true reaction. But yeah, it was so powerful that I wanted to like share that with people, that was
amazing.
Lacey's testimony of God coming and she was biting her pillow and screaming before that. Like I was praying over her screaming. I mean, it was like a total like exorcist moment. I don't know how to explain it. It just was so intense. And I was just yelling over her, screaming for, it was crazy. It was very, very surreal. And the comments on there are just mind blowing of the people that are like, oh my gosh, praise God. And so anyways, I'm sorry. I wanted to share that.
No,
I felt like it was really
beautiful.
powerful. And I feel like that's a message that needs to get out there that, people need to hear that Jesus is real and he walks with us daily and he's here with us all the time. And when we face trials and tribulations, it makes us stronger and draws us closer to him and makes us more like him.
That's true.
And so like Paul said, that he praises God for trials and tribulations. I don't remember. Do you remember the verse? I count it all joy.
Yeah.
Man, if we could only get to that place, huh?
Oh yeah. I wrote a whole blog about that once when Luke was going through his sickness, about counting it all as joy, and like, wouldn't that be amazing? But it's really hard, in the middle of that to be like, I count it all as joy. But that's
for sure. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I wanted to say something to you and to all the widows and widowers. Like, you guys need to be proud of yourself. Like, this is a big deal. Like, specifically for you, like, you're doing homeschool, which most men would not have the patience for, and doing all the regular stuff you got to do, all the things. And then you're doing like what would typically maybe be the mom role, but then you're also doing all the dad stuff too. And so to be proud of yourself, like you specifically, and everybody listening who's doing the double roles, like that's a big deal.
And you too.
Yes. Yeah. Plunging the toilets and doing all the stuff. And, like I went from not paying bills to figuring out how to get a house. Like that was really empowering to be like, whoa, and just look at those things too. Like, be proud of yourself. And like, Stacy, our friend who's been widowed twice, she's like, I YouTube everything. Like I think she said garbage disposals, this. She's like, you can do YouTube everything.
That's true.
And it's like,
how to do a lot.
Right. And so let's all take a minute. Let's give ourselves a little widow clap. I'm just cheesy. That's all. Give yourself a pat on the back right now and widow clap, right? Don't you guys know the dance, the widow clap?
No.
Just made it up. That's anyways.
Don't you guys know that? I was like, what?
No, it's just me making it up. I'm cheesy like that. What is it
called? Fanfare?
What's fanfare?
Isn't that what fanfare is?
Like being proud of yourself?
Like cheering? No, like the round of applause.
Oh, I don't know. I was just doing the widow clap.
Widow clap, okay.
It's going to be a new popular song really soon. And actually, it's going to be a dance I'm going to make up. Do the widow clap. Oh my gosh. I'm going to do that on my TikTok. Widow clap. And it's going to be about being proud of yourself. Great. I just came up with some content right now.
What's awesome is if there's anybody who listens to us and follows you on TikTok, they're going to be like, hey, I remember when you thought of that.
Huh? You thought of it live on air. Yes, but in all seriousness, let's all be proud of what we have learned and the resources that God has helped us with and the people he's put in our lives. And I mean, when you look at it, I mean, it's amazing. Like we met in a group of like 8,000 people and have been able to support each other on our journey and then come together to support other people. Like that's pretty crazy amazing when you just look at how God like orchestrates our steps and like has it planned out. And so when we're having, issues about the future and like what's going to happen, like just remembering like he's got it under control. Like I think I struggle. I think this is why like the dating thing is a struggle for me. I struggle with control and and I think it's because I was actually, talking to a friend about this weekend, like, why do I want to control these things? Because I couldn't control what happened to Luke. And so I tend to like take relationships or whatever and be like, I just want to control this. And like, I just want to like know what my future holds and like all this stuff. But it's like, okay, God, I'm going to release this. I'm going to just, like we talked about in an episode before, do the trust fall. You just fall back and like, God, okay, like whatever you want, better than me, better. And there's so many times in our lives, we can look back and something we prayed for didn't happen, but we can see. I just heard that on a sermon today. We can see that God has something better for us. And that no is really just about there's a better yes. That's what it was. No just means there's a better yes. And so if there's something that like you prayed for and it, didn't happen or whatever, sometimes God has a better yes for you in your future, for jobs or like whatever you're praying for. So
yeah.
So anyways, those are some of the things I wanted to share. So we didn't sign up for this.
That's good. We didn't sign up for this. And for all of you who are not crawling into the hole in the ground.
What's that? A gunshot?
Round of applause.
Oh, it's hard to hear it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I get you.
In the little hands. Oh, you can't see.
Okay, your idea was good, but it sounded like a gunshot. I'm like, what are you doing? Pow, pow, pow. Like, that's not very nice. He meant this.
There you go. Yeah.
See, like actual clap.
That would have been more better.
More better if you would have done that. But we get the point. Yeah. It was a great start. Look, wait.
You out there that are we're supposed to do it together.
Wait, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Listen, I used to be a cheerleader. Wait,
we're proud of you guys.
We can do like the actual like. Wait.
Wow, that's impressive.
Wait,
I didn't used to be a cheerleader.
You didn't? We are proud of you. Say we are proud of you. Ooh, we are proud of you. Say we are proud of you. Widows. Yeah, you like that cheer? I got lots more cheers where that one came from.
Well, I think you should just splice that right onto TikTok.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to.
I think you should.
And there's more. I'll do another cheer.
We don't mean that in any making fun of anybody way or whatever.
They know our humor by now.
That's not right. The right verbiage that I meant, but just like demeaning or like down talking. You're like, oh, we're proud of you. I think I've told you that before.
Yes.
So like, I don't know if this sounds like degrading to say, but like, I'm proud of you.
Right. But it's not.
Like, it's not, and not in that way, but just that, like, we know how hard it is. And so to all of you that are holding on to your faith, and we're really proud of you. And, the messages we get, that's primarily what I'm thinking of is like the messages we get of these people that are just strong, really strong, beautiful, loving, faithful people. It's just like, man, I'm just proud of you. That is an awesome story.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just got the first person to email us and say they wanted to share their story with us. So we're super excited to bring that to you guys. It sounds like a great testimony. So
coming soon
to a theater near you.
So we get on I didn't sign up for this. Should we wrap it on up?
Yes.
You wanna pray?
I was gonna do a movie.
Just do it. What is it? See if I know it. Probably not.
No. It wasn't a quote. I was gonna go. He was a something. You know how they do like the movie trailers like that?
He was a what?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, but that was a great start.
Well, hey, knock it off.
You've never heard that before. That's a great start.
So I'm thinking of there's a guy on YouTube.
Okay.
He'll like just walk up to people in the grocery store, say this guy holds up a loaf of bread, and he'll be like, he couldn't decide what kind of bread he wanted.
That is kind of funny.
Should he get the raisin or should he get the sourdough or whatever? And then it was like coming to a theater next summer or whatever.
That's funny. So you're trying to find a way,
but I couldn't think of any words.
That's all right. You win some, you lose some.
Edit this out. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's funny. Leave it. Okay. So how about you keeping it real? You want to pray?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Should I go right now? Okay.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Sorry. I'm in a goofy mood. I'm getting tired.
All good.
Oh, Father, thank you so much. Thank you for, helping us see. And I pray that you would do this for everybody. Help them
Mhm.
see what you have done through their pain. That I know it's hard to see, but at least if somebody can't think of anything, please at least give them the vision of them seeing something in the future of what it brought.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because you're a mysterious God that we can't possibly pretend to comprehend. And we pray for your will to be done all the time as believers. And, it's pretty challenging sometimes when your will doesn't align with what
Mhm.
we want. But we're called to be faithful. And so I pray that you would just give us that mustard seed and just help us grow our faith and be grateful servants to whatever you have for us, because you are worthy. You're worthy of us walking down any painful, dark, uncomfortable road, any hard road. You're worthy. And whatever we've walked through, Jesus, you've walked through far worse. And we are just grateful. We are grateful for your love and for your grace and your forgiveness and your
Mhm.
compassion. And I just pray that everybody has a blessed week and that people are blessed from this. We thank you, God. You're a wonderful, loving Father, and we love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Well, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can email us at widow2 with the number 2 soon m@gmail.com. Also, if you liked this episode, make sure you subscribe, because if you subscribe, it's like boom, download it automatically. And if you, I wanted to remind people of that. And if you liked it, you could also rate and review it on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We are looking for more guests, so make sure you email us. You can also reach us on our Instagram.
Underscore. What is it?
Widow Too Soon underscore.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I got confused for a second.
I know we have different ones because they were already taken in some places, and then we have our Facebook page and all kinds of stuff. Anywhere you type in Widow Too Soon, you'll find us. You can reach us on one of those. Also, TikTok, Widow Goals. If you want to see the one, I'm going to post it of me sliding and falling. It's going to be hilarious.
I can't wait.
I know. So I think that's it. I think we covered it all. It's been an awesome episode. We really appreciate you. For real. We're proud of you. One more time.
Sorry, the way I'm sitting, I can't really clap well. I look like a seal.
Because I just see your hands like. So that seal clap was for you.
I make animal noises too.
Anyways,
it's getting too late.
It is. We got to record earlier.
Wrap this on.
Wrap it up. Okay, we'll see you next week. Bye.